Hey everybody, this is the 20-gallon tank in my wife's room, and this morning she informed me that there was a dead fish in here. So I came in and checked, and sure enough there was a dead neon on the bottom, and it kind of dawned on me that this tank has sort of been neglected over the last couple years, and not in the water change sense, but in the stocking sense. This tank's just kind of been established, and I haven't really done anything to it for quite a while. So today I put a bunch of the neons that I had in my quarantine tank in here. I also did a really big water change. I know the tank looks filthy. I haven't really wiped the glass down, but I did about a 40% water change, and the nitrates in this tank, believe it or not, are only about 20 parts per million, which is pretty low for this tank. This is one of my admittedly more neglected tanks. As I said, this is my wife's room, so I don't come in here very often. And then again, after she got ready for work this morning, she pointed out that there was a dead fish in here, so I came in and did a little bit of work, and it really just needed another key fish. So if you follow along with my videos, you'll know that I recently bought some angelfish, and my wife got excited thinking that at least one of them was going to end up in this tank. Of course, they weren't. At least that wasn't my intention. So I went out to the big chain pet store today looking for some angelfish, and this one really caught my eye. We're having a hard time seeing it because it's under this stupid 2700K tube on the left. You can see I've got the 6500K tube on the right. It makes the tank look like some kind of weird split screen tank. That's not something wrong with your monitor or your phone or whatever. That is actually what the tank looks like. It looks greenish orange on the left and nice bright white blue on the right. So if this fish ever swims back over into the correct side of the tank, the nice bright white side of the tank, you will see that it's absolutely gorgeous little fish. It's mostly white, and then it's got this nice little black spot right at the base forward edge of its dorsal fin, and then it's got a few little telltale markings here and there around the fish. So it's a really pretty angelfish, and I'm sure once it grows up and grows in, it's going to be just amazing looking. So my wife doesn't even know this is in the tank yet. I just got a text from her a little bit ago. She's on her way home from work, so this is going to be a surprise for her when she gets home. And she loves angelfish as much as I do. And again, she was a little disappointed when she found out those other two I'd gotten were not intended for this tank. And so when she gets home now and she sees all those nice neons in there and that angelfish, that'll be something for her to look forward to. And if you're wondering why I didn't clean the glass down, it's because I was doing a water change while I was acclimating the fish, and I bought some other fish, which we'll get to very shortly in another video, and they were acclimating downstairs, and I was doing a water change on my quarantine tank downstairs, and then I was doing some work in my gourami tank downstairs today, and all of that kind of piled up at once because I suddenly had a bunch of fish that I needed to tend to, and I didn't bother with the subtleties of like wiping glass down and stuff. I just did water and filter changes, got all the tanks, suitable for the fish to be in, and then went with it. So once she gets home and gets sitting down, we'll have some dinner or something like that. She'll settle down for some TV or maybe do some yoga or something. And while she's doing that, I can get back in here and do a little more maintenance on this tank. So by the next time she sees it, it'll be a beautiful tank, and this angelfish will be a nice little surprise for her. So that's all this video was intended to be, is just a first look at this angelfish. I do intend on getting in here in the very near future and using some of that aquarium treatment. I can't think of what it is now. The ChemiClean, and put an air stone and some ChemiClean in there for a few days, and it should get this tank looking really good. And I really want to get a rubber lip or some similar type pleco for this tank. I got a bunch of them recently, and I had them in my quarantine tank. And when I took them out, I just put them in other tanks. I never even thought about this one, and this is one of the tanks I actually got those fish for, because you can see it really could use some good off-wax grazing and some really good scraping going on in there. I also need to get the cyanobacteria out of this tank, because that's just a curse in all of my tanks. It's just everywhere. So once we get it wiped out in this tank, I get a rubber lip in there, and then that'll be, sort of stay on top of maintenance. This tank will be up and running, looking ship shape again, and then the angelfish will have a proper tank to look absolutely beautiful in. So make sure you're subscribed, and that that way you won't miss anything. I am going to go downstairs right now and shoot another video showing you some of the other fish I got today. Admittedly, I do have a thing for angelfish, and so we got some more of them downstairs today. Sorry, I was getting distracted by my little green cory in there. It's an emerald cory, actually. That's it's my oldest fish right now currently. The little glowfish that you can see in here, I got a blue one, and there's a pink one over here. There we go. Those two, and then that emerald cory you just saw dashed to the top, are currently my oldest fish that I still have. And this swordtail right there, that pineapple swordtail, is actually a pretty old one for me too. That's probably a good 4 years old. But that is probably, I don't know, the second or third fish I ever bought is that emerald cory right there. So there you go, everybody. As I said, make sure you're subscribed, and that way you won't miss anything. Here's a little bit better look at that angelfish. We'll get to go out with a little bit better look there. So definitely going to be a stunner when it grows up. So thanks again. Don't forget to subscribe. This one is my wife's tank. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you real soon in the next one.